We're going to go ahead and get started. How's everybody doing today?
Hunky dory.
Okay,
Awesome.
we're okay, I guess.
Mrs. Connie is fresh out of a surgical procedure, and she's still here all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. That's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
I don't know so much
Bright-eyed and
about that.
bushy-tailed.
She's just here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share my screen with you all. You see Miss Narcisse over there? All right, Texas, tantalizing. Glad you're doing well, dear. So you said you're doing well. Can everybody see my screen? Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful people. Once again, this is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026, in the year of our Lord. And this is the Wednesday webinar. This is the fifth edition. So you all have been taking in some great knowledge. Hope you're applying them. Applied knowledge is wisdom. And this is sponsored by The Reality of Networking International. And I am your host, Mr. Isaac D. Coleman, the first and only American to break the most thumb push-ups in 1 minute Guinness World Record, while raising tons of funds for those beautiful babies at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. My co-host, two living legends in the game, been around more than 40 years in business, Dr. James Renford Powell, founder of IAMPress and the Institute of Applied Metaphysics, and Mr. Don Lawler, founder of Storytellers and Brand Aid. So today's agenda, we will cover, my section will be very brief today, but we will cover the purpose of Wednesday webinars, how to develop your networking skills, presented by yours truly, and then we're going to give the floor, a little bit extra time, to Dr. James Renford Powell. Dr. Jim, how to market your book, because there is a book in you. So here's the practical purpose, ladies and gentlemen, of the Wednesday webinars. Number one, it is to educate and empower entrepreneurs and business professionals with realistic, tried and true tools, philosophies, and proper protocols designed to help you become more successful with advertising, marketing, masterminding, and networking in your everyday businesses and lives. In other words, the blueprints for how to achieve your goals, increase sales, and enhance your marketing. So, how to develop your networking skills? How to develop your networking skills? Well, first, what is the number one skill business professionals or entrepreneurs must learn? Anybody? Anybody want to take a stab at that? Don't you all speak at once.
Start helping people.
Helping people. I like that. I like that. Okay. Anybody got anything else? More specific or more elaborate? Anybody? The number one skill a business professional or entrepreneur must learn. is networking. That is the number one skill that business professionals or entrepreneurs must learn. And don't be afraid to answer, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lawler spoke up on that. Not enough people are participating. Give an answer. If you don't know it, do the best of your abilities. Think about what you've heard. Think about what you learned. Get involved because this is for you all. This is to help you all with your mind, help you all with your discipline, with your businesses. Ultimately, this is to help you all grow. So take advantage of those opportunities while they're free and available. Networking is the number one skill. Did you all know that 80 to 85% of all jobs of any kind are filled through networking? This skill allows business professionals and entrepreneurs to grow exponentially through leveraging systems while enhancing their communication skills personally and professionally. The number one skill that you need to know in your business and in your life to grow, to become better, to be successful is networking. And these are based on references from LinkedIn, Forbes, and Harvard Business Review. And the references are down there for you all. Take screenshots at any time. And this is being recorded. You want a copy? Send me an email. I'll send you one. So if we know that the number one important skill for business professionals, entrepreneurs is networking, well, someone tell me, what is networking?
Talking to
Promoting.
people, finding out what they want.
What'd you say, Dr. Jim?
I said, talking with people, finding out what they need, what they want.
That's a great one. Somebody else was speaking?
Promoting yourself and your um, fellow members of your organization.
Okay, that's good. That's a good one. Anybody else got anything?
Sure. Also, seeing how you can bring value to someone else that you're exchanging information with, and vice versa.
Beautiful. Thank you, Miss Narcisse, Mrs. Connie, and Dr. Jim. Actually, all three of those are perfectly great answers. In a nutshell, networking is about building relationships and finding out what basically all three of you all said, what someone needs and how you can help them. So, number one, it's relationship driven. It's relationship driven. You must build trust and rapport. If I can't build trust and rapport, well, honestly, how can I help you? And certainly, how can you help me? Probably won't happen. Number two, what Miss Narcisse said and what Dr. Jim said, giving over gaining. You must give first in order to receive later. Successful networking starts with a genuine desire to help others, giving referrals, which leads to receiving referrals. But a lot of people go in thinking they can just go and get business, get business, get business. So that's a great attitude, Mrs. Connie. You do want to promote yourself and your fellow team members. That's wonderful. But first, before you promote yourself or anyone else, connect with people and find out what they need. Then we can promote ourselves and our businesses and our referral partners and mastermind members and so on and so forth. And number three, networking is about farming versus hunting. Simply, it's about long-term investment, not a quick one-time sale or hunt. Goes right back to number one, relationship driven. If you're farming, you're cultivating those relationships. If you're hunting for a quick sale, indeed, you shall fail. And then finally, number four for today, there's so much more to networking skills. Activation. Activation. Can anybody tell me what that word means as it relates to your networking skills? Activation. What is that?
Buy a ticket.
There
Following
you
up.
go. Following up, Miss Narcisse, got it again. Following up. Simply having contacts is not enough. You must activate them through consistent interaction. In other words, you must follow up, but not once, repeatedly. You got a great business partner or a great referral partner, someone you like, you can't talk to them once a year, even once a month. You need to follow up consistently. That's why we teach you all in the reality of networking international, even in organizations like Business Network International, tell you the importance of those one-to-one appointments. Sit down with one another, on the phone with one another, on Zoom with one another, learning each other's businesses and needs and wants inside and out. You must activate those relationships, but not once, repeatedly. It is a consistent action. Goes back to number 3. It's farming. You must consistently, continuously cultivate those relationships. That is the only way you can send very many referrals, and that is the only way you can receive very many referrals. So as we talked about last week, backing up just a moment. So these are primarily coming from none other than the father of modern networking himself, Dr. Ivan Misner, the founder of BNI, Business Network International, from his podcast, the BNI Podcast, episode 424. Now, building your networking skills. Once again, and this is also coming from Dr. Ivan Misner's website. Networking skills are the number one requirement for generating more referrals. Networking skills are the most important skill set that a business owner, a business professional, or entrepreneur can have. Without them, you simply stunt your growth. And we talked last week about how, number 1, promptly follow up on referrals, like Ms. Narcisse just said. Not only your referrals, but your members. Keep in touch with them. Just check on them. Build camaraderie. Have a positive attitude. No one likes a negative Nancy. Are you calling to uplift somebody? Are you calling to check on them? Are you sending a message of inspiration or positivity? Or are you calling with drama? Are you a rose or are you a weed on the journey, on that sidewalk to success? Be enthusiastic and motivated. If you're not happy about what you do or show some sort of passion about what you do, how can you expect anyone to refer to you? You're not building networking skills. You're making people slowly ease away from you. Be trustworthy. If you say you're going to do something, you do it by any means necessary. We show up. Look at Mrs. Connie, for instance. Shows up in pain, just as myself. We train in pain. Why? Because we know what it will make of us. Make us better. And those that onlook, it will also make them better as well. So you do it for yourself and you do it for those around you. Be a good listener. When someone says something, are you listening to what they said or are you just ready for a response? Listening skills, vitally important. You'll never know what a person needs if you're not actually listening to what they're saying. Be a great listener. Always be networking. Take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. Over the past week or so, I've sent out tons of Facebook recommendations to Mr. Sam Eccles of Durag Automotive and Mrs. Connie as well for people asking for what they do on Facebook. And I'll take that few 3-5 minutes or so and brag about them and recommend them for the job. Why? Because I'm taking advantage of that networking opportunity. Do I gain any business from that myself directly? No, but I gain something. I gain the fact that I know I'm doing the right thing. I'm connecting. I see someone has a need. They've expressed it themselves. Now I'm helping them to serve that need and find solutions by providing them with an expert in that area who happens to be my mastermind members, my referral partners. Take advantage of every opportunity. And those types of recommendations on Facebook don't even take very long at all. And then once you start doing them more and more, you get very good at them. Thank people often. Are you reaching out to thank people? Or again, are you reaching out, hey, I have a problem? Or are you reaching out to say, thank you for what you do? We all do something that's good. There's absolutely no way not to thank people for things that they do, because we're all doing something in our lives and in our businesses worth thanking. Thank your people. Thank your fellow people, your clients, your customers, your vendors, your family, and your friends. Just thank them. Genuinely thank them. Genuinely enjoy helping others. Like Miss Narcisse said, like Dr. Jim said. When you go up to people in a networking setting, out in the open, in a business meeting, at an event, wherever you might be genuinely wanting to help them with their needs. Listen first. Back to number 5. If you don't listen to what they need, how on earth can you refer to them? And what should we be listening for? Let's see, Mrs. Cunning, you hadn't been with us long, but if you hear of somebody needing a particular service or product, and one of your members has the ability to solve that problem for them, what is it called that you should be listening for? What is it called? It starts
I
with a
don't know
T.
right now.
Buying
It's a
signs.
trigger word. Trigger word.
Yeah,
Listen for those
what
trigger
they,
words. People
yeah,
will
like it.
tell you what they need. We
Mm-hmm,
call them in networking and in business trigger words. You
mm-hmm,
listen for those, it should instantly allow a light bulb to go off in your head. Oh, this person is talking about writing down the story of their life. This person needs to publish a book. Let me connect them to Dr. Jim. This person complained about they come home from work late and the house is not clean and they're just so exhausted and tired. Maybe they can use Mrs. Cunning's spotless sentiment. Let me check and see. Listen for trigger words. Be authentic and sincere. You should genuinely want to help others. Simple as that. Be authentic and sincere. You should want to see your teammates do well. You should want to see your business do well. Most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, you should want to see your clients and customers solve their problems. That should bring you the greatest joy, solving problems for others. And work your network. Reach out. Reach out to your network members often, your mastermind members often, your associations often. Reach out to them. Work your network. Find out what they're doing. Find out where they're going to be. Find out if they need help, where you can serve, where you can support. Always be networking and work your network. All right, beautiful people. So next week, we're going to talk about how to develop your networking skills, part 2. Part 2. And next, what is the key to success after knowing what you want? The key is to start before you are ready. Don't start second guessing yourself. Don't start procrastinating. Don't start letting fear get the best of you. Once you figure out you want something, go for it. Go for it. Then you design a plan and you stick to that plan. But start before you're ready, before all the negative chatter from your own mind and from those around you get the best of you. And if you want more referrals, you give more referrals. The law of generosity, the law of prosperity is to give more. If you want more, give more. All right. So now we're going to switch gears to a living legend, ladies and gentlemen. And is everybody's screen back to normal?
mm-hmm. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Perfect. So it is my honor to introduce, it's also my privilege, to introduce an ancient legend, my Leo friend and mastermind mentor, my client, and my referral partner. The founder of the Institute of Applied Metaphysics, the founder of IAMPress, the overseer of the Church of Revelation, co-founder of the Reality of Networking International, the man who went off to the Vietnam War as a Christian missionary with his wonderful wife, only to discover the secrets of success and the universal laws of truth and reality. He is the liberator from the delusion of duality. The man whose beautiful red-headed wife starred in the Bruce Lee movies in China. The man who lived in Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and spent 20 years abroad, ladies and gentlemen, studying, teaching, and writing, just like King Odysseus in the great epic, the Iliad and the Odyssey. The man who has authored more than 40 books, magazines, workbooks, and various literary works. The man who has helped, coached, and published many books for numerous men and women from varying backgrounds and all walks of lovely life. The man who is not just a professional publisher, but the man who shall reveal the secrets of success that dwells within you. The man who shall show you that there is a book in you and help you compose it from point A to point Z and everything in between. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Dr. James Renford Powell. Thank you.
And that introduction is so good. I want to say thank you and have a good evening.
I love it.
What I'm going to cover with you tonight, it sounds to me like there's feedback. Are you hearing clearly?
I do hear a little bit of feedback from you.
I'm not quite sure what to do about that. But you stop me if you think it's necessary, okay?
Yes, sir.
This was a rather short order tonight, so I don't have this material for you to put up on the screen, but I will make this available by email to everybody online. It is, in fact, the IAMPress Marketing Plan. A few years ago, I went to are we on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it looked like we stopped.
Yes, sir.
A few years ago, I went to the Book Stock, which is an event they have at the Benjamin Hooks Library every year that recognizes local authors. And at this particular event, I did not have one of my books and I did not have an author there. So I took the time to talk to every single one of those authors. In fact, I ended up basically doing an interview with each. What was amazing for me was that whether they had their book published traditionally or with independent publishers like me, or whether they self-published, nobody, not one single one of them was happy with the marketing. That kind of rang my bell, because before I wouldn't work with anybody on their marketing if I didn't publish their book. So it became apparent to me that there's a huge market here. Nobody was happy with the marketing. Now, there's a good reason for that. It's expensive and it's very time consuming. And most people would rather go back to the donut shop and write another book than to spend time marketing. Right? And because there's so many ways that you can market your book. Well, this caused me to, and listen, if you're not writing a book, you can still take notes on these points that I'm going to go over with you, because they're applicable to anything that you do, any kind of thing that you may be marketing. When I found this to be the case, and there were so many people, then I kept calling others. Nobody was happy. So I got a book called Guerrilla Marketing, and I can't remember the guy's full name, but Conrad is his middle name. And he had written a book called Guerrilla Marketing, and it was and this is some years ago.
Jay
And
Levinson Conrad.
yeah, what was it? Say it again, Levinson.
Jay Levinson Conrad.
J.
He's one of the mentors of Mr. Don Lawler.
Yeah, and he was not talking about books specifically. So when I got his book and went over it, I started extracting things from that have to do with marketing books. But the points are basically there for anything that you may be wanting to market. And once I put that together, then I made that available to my authors, and I made it a part of my own marketing plan. And so I want to go over 12 points with you. Now, I've listed in this marketing plan, which I said I'll give you 77 ways you can market your book. Nobody needs to worry about 77 marketing their book 77 ways. All right. But you need to be able to find your niche. How am I going to go about this? Whether it's cleaning houses or marketing a book, technical services, physical services, whatever it is, you can make application from those 77 ways you can market your book. But I'll talk about 12 things. And it's basically to draw a comparison between what big companies do and what makes sense for little companies like us. Most of us are what I call solopreneurs. All right. We're entrepreneurs, but we basically are working on our own. And we may, in time, build that up to where there's a management staff and all kinds of employees. But as we begin, we're working on marketing these books. I had to, when I started to write The Laws of Material Wealth, which I've talked about on the show before, I read an awful lot of books, and a lot of books on marketing as well. And a lot of them had good points. And a lot of them have marketing points. To me, they're had a lot of fillers. So I only write about what I know. So if any of these books that you look at, this is coming from my personal experience. I don't want to just regurgitate the words that other so-called gurus are talking about. If I tell you that you need to know what you want, exactly what you want, and when specifically you want it, and that you need to design and develop a plan, and like Isaac says, when you start to develop that plan is likely to change. You need to get started on it right away once you know what you want. And finally, you have to have the desire to see the plan through. When I tell you that, it's because I've been there and done that. And it's the only thing that works. And anything else is put on there is just superfluous stuff. All right. So you can find this out for yourself. Everything I'm telling you, you can confirm for yourself. But you do have to know exactly, specifically what you want and when you want it, and then design a plan to get it, and then get on with it, with the process. The way that this is so different for solopreneurs than the big companies, you see all kinds of things. Well, let's watch what the big boys are doing. What the big boys are doing does not necessarily apply to you. We are in a class by ourselves as solopreneurs. And so we have to look at what works for us. To begin with, we don't need a big budget like these guys. This is high impact, low cost way of marketing, whatever you're marketing, books or anything else. So we're looking at what works for us, and it doesn't require a big budget. A lot of personal time is spent on marketing. That's why a lot of people don't really market their books. To them, it's expensive because everybody that talks about marketing wants you to buy ads in Facebook and do all kinds of things which are not necessarily cost effective for you. So you have to think about all of this in direct relation to what you're doing. Guerrilla marketing is utilized more by small businesses and is well suited for authors. And that's why I spent so much time in utilizing his book in developing a plan for my authors and for myself. You know, because we're solopreneurs, I mean, our board of directors are sort of like our friends and our associates and our contacts. And in the case of reality networking, we've got a cadre of people we can go to for help and advice on everything from AI and technical stuff to direct sales and all the rest of it. All right. So this is our board for us, solopreneurs. This is our board. These are our contacts, and we go there and we operate like the President of the United States. We call in our cabinet members and we ask for advice, and then we make a decision and do it. We're the ones that make the decisions when it comes to these individual businesses like that. Number 3, large corporations measure their effectiveness by their sales. And in guerrilla marketing and small and solopreneur marketing, we're concerned with profits. How much am I going to make percentage-wise on this product? We're not looking at showing sales figures and impressing anybody. We're interested in putting money in the bank, right? And traditional marketing techniques are primarily concerned with proven systems. And that's newspaper advertising and radio advertising and all the ways that traditional companies use. But in our case, we're going to be looking at what we're looking at testing. We're testing everything. It's kind of a joke in the marketing business is that any kind of exercise that we're doing to market something, we have to test it. We're constantly testing. And the joke is that when you get through testing, you test some more because it's a constant exercise in making sure it's working. Why spend the time and the money doing something that's not producing results? As simple as that. Right. So we're watching for those things. Also, the big companies are looking at figures and statistics and things like this, where as a solopreneur, we're looking at personal relationships, personal contact, finding out personally what somebody's needs are, what they want. And so there's a lot more personal activity involved than you'd find in the big companies. Number 5, traditional marketing is focused on maximizing sales first and then diversifying by offering related products and services. In guerrilla marketing, maintain our standard of excellence by focusing on, if it's books or writing your book, diversification only if you can create synergy that helps you sell your book without lowering their quality. You're open to revenue from courses and other revenue based on the book. So you will find if you're marketing a book, that book may end up being only a fraction of your revenue. More revenue may be coming from something that you're selling in relation to that book. It may come from public speaking, classes, seminars, workshops. There's all kinds of peripheral activity with regard to that book. And I think that applies to almost any business that you might be involved with. Where traditional marketing looks for linear growth by adding new customers, which makes sense for them, guerrilla marketing seeks to expand your market by finding groups and individuals who fit the profile of your readers. We, instead of viewing everybody as competition, I think it's important to look at a lot of the people who may be doing something similar to you as potential joint venture partners. So instead of looking at everybody as an enemy or or as a competition, look to see, because in some cases, you with that individual and personal contact may attract whole groups, not just one customer. And it is a personal thing. It's not like your product is on the shelf at Kroger, and whoever happens to walk by, maybe they buy it, maybe they don't. That's why I'm not too crazy about bookstore sales, even though I've got my books in bookstores. It's kind of funny because I went to the bookstore when it was still open down on at Highland and Poplar. It's a Japanese restaurant now, but at that time it was a bookstore. And I was in there looking at all the books. I was looking at the books by Deepak Chopra and looking at the books by Wayne Dyer. And they were all nicely put there together. And I was looking at mine was in like 4 different places in the store. And one was over in the poetry section, and the laws of material wealth was in the business section, and the house that Namu built was down in the New Age section, and the rules of the game was in the sports section. So I asked the girl, I said, how come all of these guys' books are up here together and mine are all over the store? And she said, well, you wrote in 7 different genres. I'm telling you, I don't know that I even knew what a genre was when it came to the books. It just wasn't in my mind. What I was doing was writing the books for a specific market. And because I was writing them for a specific market, I was actually participating in different genres. Right? So you learn a lot as you go along. And that's why Isaac keeps saying you start before you're ready, because your marketing plan is like a living thing. It evolves. And you may have any number of things that you will completely drop, cease to do, never to touch again. And then you will have things that you will add to that, to your plan, because they work. And that's an important part of it. Big corporations battle with their competition. And as I said, guerrilla marketing seeks to cooperate with others in the same field. And many great partnerships have come out of that open attitude toward the competition. Corporations believe that one marketing program alone can work if you allocate the funds properly. So they got the money to play with, and they can try different things. In guerrilla marketing, we have to look at the combination, and on a smaller scale, what is working, always what is working. And if it's not working, we stop. All right. Corporate accounting looks at their monthly receipts to see how many sales they've made. And guerrilla marketing counts how many relationships you make each month, because each relationship can generate multiple sales. All right. Does everybody follow that? Now you're free to ask a question at any point, or if you will mark down as I go over this, then I'll be happy to take some time at the end to answer your questions. Traditional marketing has developed multiple systems with the expansion of the internet and have the money to spread their pitch around. In guerrilla marketing, we have to focus on low cost, high impact processes. And I'll give you an example of that. Whenever I publish someone's book, I also create a trifold. And that's like a 1 8.5 by 11 sheet folded in 3s and with printing on both sides. And that trifold is designed to sell the reader on why they should read that book. As simple as that. Give them enough information, the contact information, and sell them on why they should read that book. Well, what happens with a lot of people is that they end up giving away a lot of books. They talk to people and then they end up giving them the book, where the trifold is a lot less expensive and it will serve the purpose. Well, this is, if you go out there and you find 10, 15 authors, hardly any of them will have a trifold. And what here and there, somebody will have spent quite a bit of money in putting together a media kit or some other marketing piece. But that little trifold is what I call a high impact, low cost marketing tool. That's something that you could have in your back pocket at a funeral. You don't want to be going around working and selling at the funeral, but if on the way out and you're gone and you find somebody you want to talk to about it, hand it to them and say, take a look at this and tell me what you think. That's exactly what I say. Take a look at this and tell me what you think. All right. Now this is high impact, low cost way of getting your message out. If you have like Connie, if you have a cleaning business, I can produce a trifold for you, or you can get one done so that everywhere you go, every store you go into, everywhere you see, you give them that trifold. That's different from a business card. This has more information in it and has all your contact information. So this is the type of thing I'm talking about when I say high impact and low cost. Traditional marketing identifies a handful of marketing weapons that are relatively costly. Guerrilla marketing begins with a base of 77 ways you can market your book. Now, I've got 77 ways you can market your book in this plan. Why? Well, because many of those 77 ways people just do not want. It doesn't fit with them. It doesn't fit their personality. Some people would rather have their teeth pulled than get up and make a public speech. Right? So public speaking may not be the best way for them. Either they have to go learn how to speak, how to be effective speaker, or they look for other ways to market their books. Right? Something they're comfortable with, something that's not terribly expensive, something they can do, they can live with. Right? So that's why there's 77 ways. Number 12 on this, traditional marketing can be intimidating, and they often mean for it to be so. They try to make it complex and mysterious. But in guerrilla marketing, we make it simple and we stay in control. This is our business. We're not giving it to somebody else. So even if we contract with a marketing company, am I running out of time?
Yes, so we got about 2.5 minutes.
All right. Well, when you get your copy of this marketing plan, look at the 77 ways you can market your book and make a note by each one of them, because I will sit down and talk with you about each one of those. If you think something in there would fit your system better. Okay. Isaac, do you want to have questions now?
Yes, sir. We'll open it up now for questions and answers. So we'll let the people go. Any questions about networking skills from yours truly, or any question about how to market your book, or the fact that there is a book in you from Dr. Jim? Speak now or forever hold your peace. No, just kidding.
Well, on writing my book, I'm stuck. I don't know how to move forward with it.
Well, I'll tell you, I have found that a lot of people, when you talk to them about writing a book, it's just kind of a big amorphous idea there. It's like a big cloud. And they begin writing, but even when I say know what you want and design a plan to get what you want and have the desire to see it through, you've got to know exactly what your message is. So what I do with first-time authors, and that's kind of where I've specialized, is I have a series of interviews where we create the outline. Because once that outline is created, you've basically created the chapter headings for that book. And once you've created that outline, it's like you've established intent. You have a track to run on. And suddenly they're taking things that they wrote before and things they've seen somewhere else, or they have an idea riding down the road and they go back home and they slot it into that outline. And it's amazing how fast a book appears. And then they don't even think they're writing a book, but the book appears. And working with you on creating that outline solves a whole lot of problems.
I would like that.
We can take that, and then you've already written a lot of things, and you can slice it in. I had a little lady come to me who is a Methodist, or missionary Baptist minister, and she just had a pile of notes, couldn't make head nor tails of it. So I started separating them out into different things, and I wrote questions to go in front of each of those sections that she was writing, and I created a question and answer, and she was just super happy with that. And it was called Keys to the Kingdom of God. So it was I might or might not agree with anything the author is writing, but I can help them to create that book in a way they haven't imagined.
Right. I've written 325 pages on this book already.
Oh,
But I'm just kind of like stuck, I don't know how to break it down, That's why I need you.
yeah. We'll get together whenever you're ready on that.
Okay. I'm
That's
ready.
that's it may sound like a big job and a real problem, but once you break that down, got your outline there, and you're just slotting things in, you'll find that you've repeated yourself in some cases. You've done, and if we can just get it broken down into what your message is, that outline, the flow. And then later it'll go to the editor, and the editor will suggest, well, that chapter 3 should have been chapter 8, and chapter 2 should be chapter 5, that sort of thing, because they're looking at the flow, and they help with that aspect of things.
Yeah, I got you. That makes sense. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, lovely people. Anybody else got anything?
Can I say something?
Any questions about how to develop your networking skills? Go ahead, Mr. Macy.
Oh, I apologize. I first of all, I want to apologize to you guys for getting on late. I had one of my clients to die, so it took a minute to handle it. So I apologize, because I was looking forward to your portion, Mr. Isaac. So hopefully I can get a little synopsis of what you spoke of, because I always learn from what you bring forth to us every Wednesday. And Mr. Dr. Jim, I'm glad you broke it down into like 12 marketing ideas, because I can't imagine 77 that can get a little overwhelming. So so I appreciate it, and I apologize once again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Anybody got any questions? So you all are expert networkers now. No questions at all. All right, well, great. Well, go ahead and send me 10 referrals. Send Dr. Jim 11. Give Mrs. Connie 12. Give Ms. Demisi 13. I expect to have that by tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. So that's awesome. Let's go.
Well, you should have at least 3 tomorrow, and Mr. Eccles has 2. Mr. Meaty, I believe I've got you 2 today.
Well, good deal. Look at you. Good deal.
You're welcome.
Great job. Great job.
Even sick, I was still networking today.
There you go. There you go. And we can't forget Miss Narcisse. We can't forget Miss Nikki Taplin out there in Texas.
Right. I'm not familiar with her, and so I need to get with her so I can learn more about her business and how I can help her.
Absolutely. Business salute. She owns. So schedule a one-to-one with her. Reach out to her. If you need her information, I can give that to you if you don't have it already. So
yes,
absolutely.
please.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Ms. Amy, you got anything?
No, I actually don't have a question, but I do have a referral for Dr. Jim. So I'll get with him later on, because I do know someone who is writing and is looking for a publisher. So
very good.
I will be doing that. But
well, thank you.
I'm also in the middle of some kind of police thing at the moment. So I am definitely gonna put my phone back on mute and watch my surroundings because I am now trapped by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 police cars.
Well, you shouldn't have been speeding. So, I hope they
Oh
give you
no,
a
I
ticket.
wasn't speeding.
I
No,
hope they
no,
give
it's
you a
not me.
ticket. I hope they give you a big old fat ticket like I used to issue out. So I hope that
Send it up
ticket is
through, send it
real
up
big
through,
and fat, like
send it
on
up
a
through
ledger
leadership,
size
Miss Amy.
paper,
I
That's all
know
right.
it's like some
Scan it.
kind of domestic dispute or something going on at the moment. So yeah.
Oh,
Um,
Miss
I get it. So you're a man beater. Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome.
no,
So good
no
job.
such
Mi-
thing.
Miss Amy, just scan your ticket up through Legal Shield.
No, the loveness of legal shield ID shield, I am protected.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Any of the other lovely people got anything at all?
Can I ask you a question? Because I don't. You may have went over, but it's something that I've been thinking about for about a week or two. Like,
Mhm.
is there a point that you reach that you no longer invest on trying to send referrals to someone if they don't look like they're trying to send anything to anyone, or do you just continue to send? I understand the reaping and sowing process, but is there a because you may not even reap from the same person that you sold into, but do you reach a point where you say, okay, this person is just a leeching, and they're not contributing trying to contribute towards anyone else?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great question.
Oh,
So, I'm sorry. Was
I'm
that
sorry, I was asking if I could answer that.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
And who asked the question?
That was
I
Mr.
did.
Meesey.
Miss Dennessy? Did I say that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no, ma'am, it's Demisi.
Demisi, okay.
Yes.
Miss Demisi, I would like to say that in every relationship, we want them to be reciprocal. And their reciprocity doesn't have to be 50-50 because in our relationships, you're not always getting 50-50. Sometimes you get 70-30, 80-20, but there's reciprocity that you understand. If there is none, maybe a conversation needs to be had to see if you are still in alignment in your network and then make your decision from there.
Okay. Thank you.
That's just
That
my
was good.
input.
That was good. No, that was good. That was good. Powerful, brief. And you remember Mr. Meesey, so you remember last Visitors Day, August. We had some 60, 70 people there. Wonderful. What was the name of the theme? Hosted by us. It was Reciprocal Relationships. That's the name of it. So that's the name of the game. So you are supposed to do your duty. It's two ways to look at it. Number one, if this person is a member of your networking organization or your mastermind, wonderful. If the opportunity comes up, send them business because that's your duty to do so. But another way to look at it is about reciprocal relationships. If this person is what you stated earlier, kind of leeching, meaning they're taking, but they're never giving, you do have to then give to someone you know who will appreciate that value. So you want to give to people who you see reciprocal relationship participation in. It's a giving and a receiving type of relationship. If you know you've given a person 10 referrals, they've never given you one, or probably even no one else around you, they're not a good fit for masterminding. They're not a good fit for professional networking. That's just a bottom line. So you would want to give that business to someone who understands the law of reciprocity because it's going to be more valuable for not only for them, but for you and for everyone else around. So you got to look at how can I receive and give, most importantly, the most value. If I give to Mrs. Cunny and she's giving to everybody around, that's wonderful. But if I give to Mrs. Cunny and she's just taking my business and taking everybody else's business, she's never giving anybody else anything else, guess what? I'm wasting my time. Give to somebody who's going to be giving as well. That's what you want to do. And you do have to give first before you can find that out. You have to give first before you can find that out. But don't keep beating a dead horse. Don't keep beating a dead horse. So if a person is not reciprocating at all, you can do what Miss Narcisse said. You can definitely have that conversation to check the alignment to see what's happened because sometimes alignments change. Yeah, sure, most people are that way from the start, but some people somehow their vision or mission has changed in life, and that's fine too. And at that point, you can say, "All right, no problem, no harm, no foul. I still love you as a person. I still love you as God's child, but I'm going to be giving this business to someone who actually appreciates it, and that's perfectly okay to do. In fact, Chinese billionaire Jack Ma definitely says that. Give to those who give back to you. Give to those who do well under pressure, who don't just, you know, tuck their tail and run when the getting gets hard. So definitely give to those kind of people that you see appreciates the value, gives back to you, and gives to those around you. Because not remember, it's not never about me. It's about we. So look at it that way. Not are they giving back to me, but are they giving to all my people? If they're giving to your people and are great givers, give to them. Just because they hadn't given to you, man, that's neither here nor there. But are they giving? Wonderful. If they're giving to no one, then you know what kind of person they are. You know what kind of person. The tools are here. The tools are here. So one of the things we can do to develop our networking skills that I didn't mention, number one, listen and learn. Get coaches and mentors who know the game. People who've done well in things like BNI, NIA. Read the books on networking. The late great Mr. Jim Ron used to always say, if you want to learn anything, make it a study. Go to the library. What's on their shelf? It should be a book about that thing they claim they want to become. If they're not studying it, it'll never happen. So absolutely, give to those who are giving to your people. And of course, if they're giving to you, that's wonderful. But it's never about me. It's always about we. Are they giving? Give to them. Does that answer your question?
Okay.
See?
Okay. Yeah.
Anybody else got anything else?
Thank you.
You're welcome. And great job, Miss
Mhm.
Narcisse. Appreciate that. Anybody else got anything? Dr. Jim, you got anything before we close it on out?
Oh, I've done run out of gas.
Okay. Well, next week, Dr. Jim, if you want to finish up, Mr. Lawler's going to be sitting next week out as well. He and
Okay.
his wife will be going out of town this weekend and coming back late Tuesday. So Wednesday won't be a good day for him. So he asked if you can go ahead and do your piece again so you can finish on up with some more of those
Maybe
marketing tips
maybe we'll
for
go
how to market your
maybe
book.
maybe we'll go through the process so people can see it's not some big mysterious thing. It's just simple step-by-step process. And since what I'm doing is collaborative publishing, that means that at every stage it goes back to the author. So maybe we can talk about that a little bit.
That'd be awesome.
Unless somebody here tonight have questions that they would like to send in, and we'll formulate a class around those questions.
Well, beautiful. I like that. Beautiful. And then next week on part two of how to develop your networking skills, I'm going to give some examples on things I've actually done that help me. To help me give to lots of different entrepreneurs and business owners, even in situations where it looked like I should have never been able to give to them, but I made those connections and I made those referrals possible and happen. So we'll give some actual real world examples. Like Dr. Jim said, he writes his books on the laws of material wealth and the laws of metaphysics based primarily on his own life's experience. So I'm going to give you all some actual life experience that I have done in my career of networking, both in BNI, network in action, and various other places as well. So wonderful. All right, beautiful people, God's people, we love you all as always. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for participating. You did some great work tonight. And thank you all for being who you are. And anywhere that myself or Dr. Jim or Mr. Lawler can provide value, you do please let us know. And Mr. Macy, Mr. Lawler said he apologized for not getting your calls and for not calling you back, but he is definitely going to do that, and he apologizes. So,
Okay. Thank you.
yes, ma'am. You all have a beautiful, blessed night. Love you all.
Mhm.